Welcome everyone to the MMOs.com podcast. We're on episode 38 now, and this is Altai, joined by...
Omer?
Gumble.
Matt?
Shirelia.
Boom. Professional.
There it is.
So professional.
Alright, so I want to start with an email I got this morning, okay? Like, literally, I got up and I look at my email, and this is...
Oh boy.
It's not really that interesting. Basically, it's from Mindark, the guys that make Entropia Universe. And I thought it was a little bit funny, because this morning, we saw a Reddit post saying that, like, mature MMO gamer, they're silly, misleading ads. If you've been on anywhere on the internet lately and you have ad block off, you've probably seen these ads. And it's like the most misleading ad ever. It says mature gamer, try now. And you got this blonde babe. And it has nothing to do with the game.
Whoa.
What do you guys think about this ad, first of all?
This is a good ad. What's wrong with this ad?
But what does this do with the game?
Just to point out, Entropia Universe is kind of like Second Life in that everything in the game has value. Basically, you can't progress in the game without spending money or collecting alien poop on the planet. And the whole idea is to build like a club or a settlement, and then you get people to spend money in your little establishment, and you can exchange that for cash. It actually has the largest digital transactions in the game.
Alright, it's a cool concept. Like, the ad is super misleading.
But the ad is just this sexy blonde, and there's nothing like that in the game. The game isn't sexy.
If you can replace this game ad, it's like mature, like mature moms in your area. It'd be like it would fit those porn ads too, you know?
Whoa.
I would click them.
But the thing is, this game really is for older players, because it's impossible to play this game if you're not, like, retarded. Like,
That's a good way to put it.
but the ad is like ridiculously misleading. It's like, my point being, somebody at Mindark emailed me saying, "Dear, Omer, I'm writing from Mindark with developers on Entropia Universe and playing Calypso. We're glad that you covered our game. However, we see some, a lot of your screenshot and stuff is older. It's a little bit basically implying that some of our content is a little misleading because it's out of date, right?"
I did that 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, but how can you say our stuff is remotely like misleading and out of date when you have an ad like this, right?
You should ask them for more ads. We'll replace the screenshots with the sexy advertisements.
I'll say if you give me some more screenshots of that babe in your ad, I'll update it.
as for a free nightclub, those things sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars in that game.
Right, in-game nightclub. Can I party with this girl? Can she massage my toes?
Just to point, a virtual space station in that game sold for $330,000, and then a virtual resort sold for $635,000 in total.
Look,
And then they made
Crazy.
they made that back within a year. That's even crazier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are good investments.
100% return on investment, boys. That's how you do it.
So, like, what do you do in this game?
What do you do in Second Life?
It's basically Second Life, yeah.
Well, it depends.
It's more grinding.
It depends on the planet you're on. There's one planet that you go around and basically shoot things, and then use the money you get from shooting things to party.
Alright, here's the important question, okay?
Mhm.
Look at my face, okay?
I'm looking.
Can I be anime in this game?
No.
No,
No.
no, you can't be anime.
I don't
So-
want to play it then.
And you don't want to play it regardless.
Wow, shots fired.
Wow.
I actually
Yeah, I'm
like
sorry.
the Second Life, though. Like, I mean, I had a good run in Second Life. I still play it, it's just, like, I don't really know who to play with and stuff anymore.
When you say play it, I think you're misusing that term.
Yeah, you don't really play Second Life. You really cyber Second Life, all right? It's a weird world of furries, and
Interactive hentai.
yes, there's lots and lots of sex and porn and furries. Keyword furries. Lots of furries.
Did you know I actually played like a porn MMO before? Did I tell you guys about that?
Were you grinding the porn MMO shit? Were you grinding?
No, I was just interested. I just wanted to try it out, and then I tried it out, and I got bored. Like I paid like $20 for it. And I was
You
like,
got
"Fuck
ripped."
this
Paid money? Oh, no.
Shoot.
Yeah.
All right. Podcast official. Shoot paid money for porn. All right.
game."
That's I can't imagine.
I'm glad we're getting to the facts here.
It was
Alright.
like it was legit like a adult MMO.
Let's migrate.
It was one.
That's my grade here.
There's the big news of the week that Sean you can cover with your favorite game.
Oh, we're gonna start right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Last week we had we were in our podcast and someone asked a great question, and the question was, "Will H1Z1 ever go free to play?" And we all responded in unison, "No." And this week we were confirmed. H1Z1 will never be going free to play, and it's splitting into 2 games. Now, the part where it's splitting into 2 games is a bit odd. If you don't know H1Z1, it's a zombie survival game. It's built in the wake of DayZ hype by Daybreak. Which company is it? Is it Daybreak?
Daybreak.
Yeah. So basically, it's an open world survival game, and now they're splitting the game into 2, where one game will focus on the open world survival, and the other game will focus on King of the Hill, which is basically where the players enter a battle royale fight where the last one standing wins. They're splitting the game on the 17th, and they're both going to have different development teams. Right now, I think the game is $20, but once the games are split, they'll cost $20 each. And it's a bit odd, right? Because why split the games into 2 when you can just have one client and have 2 game modes? And to me, I don't want to come out and say it's a cash grab, but it just seems silly.
It totally is a cash grab.
And then the best part though is that DayZ, and I mean I don't even care too much about the split because I never supported DayZ because it always smelled fishy. Is that they just straight up, they don't even say, they say it at the bottom of the official post. The question is, will DayZ ever go free to play after the games come out of early access? At this time, we do not have plans to make either H1Z1 Just Survive or King of the Hill free to play titles. And that just goes against everything they hyped
said
it up
before,
as when it was coming out, that this is going to go free to play, the early access is a quick thing. And now they're just totally backing out of it. They're like, okay, let's just keep making the money. So to me, this is just a total bait and switch.
Whoa, Gumby, before you paid for 1 game in early access, now you get 2 games. It's 2 for 1, what a deal.
I get 2 games that should be bundled together, and then the DayZ mod is still weeks ahead of this garbage. So I think this is bullshit. I think it's also ridiculous to totally switch your business model. And they don't even really offer an explanation.
Well,
right? Go ahead.
See, what I think happened is about halfway through development, they realized, oh hey, we haven't had enough focus, and now we're making 2 completely different games. So let's split them, put 2 different teams on them, and get working.
How do you have 2 different teams work on these games efficiently? Because like the guys who make the engine and shit, like and like the art assets, like they overlap, don't they? Like these are the same people. It seems like very. I mean, I feel like they're not going to be 2 dev teams. They're going to be 1 dev team, and they're just saying 2 dev teams so they can justify charging you twice for the same game. Like
Well,
they
didn't explicitly say 2 teams. I just can't see a big company like Daybreak working.
I thought they said 2 teams explicitly because I thought we had.
Yeah, they said 2 different. They're going to have 2 development teams for each version of the game, so they can focus more effort on polishing.
So my question now is, how many dev teams do they have working on EverQuest Next?
0. 0. How about Landmark? Ready? 0.
But what happens? What happens if I paid for the game already?
You'll
get both versions on the 17th.
You get EverQuest Next has that one guy that sits in the corner alone all the time and asks his boss, "Why am I not finished yet?"
Like the one secretary. Can we get some developers on this, please?
It just, to me, this is just such bullshit. You know, and not even offering an explanation feels insulting. The post didn't say we're not going to be going free to play. At least offer. And of course, you got fanboys like, okay, this is so much better now. We'll never get hackers and whatnot. There's always going to be hackers, but it's an inexcusable. At least explain to their player base why, and not just put it in a bullshit Q&A at the bottom of the post. I think it's insulting to players.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think they're doing this as a cash grab. I think they genuinely have no idea what they're doing.
I'll agree with that. I don't know if it's necessarily cash grab. Let's not throw out, you know.
Also,
I think between throwing out EverQuest Next, the whole development hell that is Landmark, and now this, I don't think they know what they're doing.
I think they know what they're doing in this case. I mean, overall, they don't know what they're doing. Think about it this way, okay? They're making the game, right? And they're like, wait a minute, look how popular this mod is, right? And like everybody, like some people want to buy this game just to play this mod because like the streamers started playing the mod and became super popular, right? And they're just like, if they buy our, like, how can we monetize this? They thought about it and okay, we got to split the base game up with the survival game so they can make twice as much money. I feel like this was a calculated maneuver in terms of monetization.
Wow, even after the news, there's still 22,000 people playing right now.
Yeah, of course.
It's a popular game. I mean, they're gonna make some money on it, but I'm getting bad vibes about Daybreak.
Yeah, I think Daybreak is a sinking ship.
Well, they are run by an investment company right now, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. I mean, they lost their head honcho too. What's his name? Smedley.
I just imagine a boardroom meeting, and he's like, "Wait a second, I got it. We're gonna split them in two. We're gonna make double the money,
and bonuses for everyone."
But they tried that same strat with EverQuest Next, right? With Landmark and Next, it didn't work there because neither came out.
At least H1Z1 is playable,
That's true.
today.
I mean, I think what's really going to happen, though, is we're going to see one of them become really popular and get the support, and the other one become abandoned.
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is this is a way to kill off the traditional zombie survival mode, which isn't that popular, and they're gonna focus exclusively on the King of the Hill mode, and they're just kind of let the zombie survival mode kind of just fester in its own little corner, because that's what I think is proven popular, and then it's gonna go head to head with other battle royale style games like the Culling. So I don't see it lasting forever, but I don't know. It's proved insanely popular. Why, I don't know.
What's so funny is I feel like they got in pretty early on there's the survival zombie craze,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like it's kind of tapering off, and the game is still in early access.
Well, it's leading early access this summer.
All right,
Finally.
we'll see.
If it actually does, or they're just talking out of their ass.
Still pretty funny.
It's got pretty negative reviews. It probably got bombed though, because after that. No, these are pretty old. No, yeah, it got pretty bad reviews on Steam so far.
That doesn't stop nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Well, some people are talking about CS:GO in the chat, so I want to go to CS:GO topic unless somebody wants to say something on this. Any last word on H1Z1?
No, we're done with this game.
Don't
Alright.
support it.
This is probably the best news I've heard all week. All right, this is my favorite news of the week.
Oh yeah.
CS:GO player dished out vigilante justice on cheaters. So apparently some Reddit user released a hack for CS:GO, and what the hack does is basically for because everybody hacks CS:GO, you know that, right? When you die, obviously the other guy hacks, and when you kill him, it's skill, you know, that's basic. But so there's a lot of hackers in the game, so he made a hack and was downloaded. It was more than 26,000 views and downloads over 5,000 times. So it was downloaded a shit ton, but the hack doesn't actually work. Okay, when you download the hack, you just get banned. If you turn the hack on while you're on an official server, the VAC servers will just insta-ban you. So he literally just got over 5,000 people banned from CS:GO.
So like a honeypot or whatever it's called.
He honeypotted them.
Boom, baby.
He honeydicked them.
Holy shit.
So I thought this was pretty genius. I feel like this guy's a hero.
Speaking of hacks, I know we've talked about this before, but all right, who hacked in Counter-Strike before? Raise your hands.
I did once, 1.6.
Don't say once.
Yeah,
You did it all the
1.6.
time.
I did it for a day.
Shut up. My brother got my account banned hacking. He didn't even use his own account when he did it. He used mine.
Of course, I'll use your account. Why would I get my own account banned?
I've legitimately never hacked in anything.
Wow.
Matt, have you cheated in a console game?
That's a cheat code. They're included.
Hacker.
That's not hacking.
Hacker.
You go to hacker hell.
Matt, did you have a Game Shark?
No.
Wow. All right.
I hacked once, but it was for purely asshole reasons.
It was for a good cause, all right?
I had a radar mod for World of Warcraft so I could kill people more.
Nice.
Cause like I just wanted to find the dudes, right? So I can gank them on my rogue.
Yeah.
And I got sick of like looking for people because it's like a pain in the ass, right? So the radar was like a lot easier for me to hunt people down.
This guy makes a good point too. I feel like VAC banning is not very efficient, as Pink Puffball said, because think about it right now. If you get banned in CS:GO, what's going to happen? You buy another copy of the game for like $1.
What? $1?
It's like $8 when it goes on sale, right? $7.50 or
All right.
$7.99.
That's $8 for Steam.
But if you look on like G2A and stuff, you can buy the game for less than that probably.
Oh, maybe.
Like the Russian version for like
Yeah.
$5, $2. So I feel like if you get banned, you should get VAC banned on all your Steam games. What do you guys think about that? Or is that too harsh?
I mean, doesn't it apply overall anyway? Doesn't VAC count for
No.
anything that uses
Nope.
it? No, it's
Nope.
just game exclusive.
It's game specific.
I mean, that's not going to stop anybody though. They just make a new account and buy the game. You're not rectifying.
That's
the
fine.
problem.
At least they can't hack on their main account then, you know?
Oh, wow.
Or they risk game. Well, why not? The current policy is basically Steam
How about IP
openly
ban?
saying it's okay. But yeah, but if it's that account specific though, you can just access that account from a different IP. You just change your IP or use like a proxy or
What-
a VPN.
Well, account and IP specific.
but-
I think
Right,
Steam
both
is very
of them.
happy if you keep buying new copies.
Well, that's the point I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Clearly, Valve has like this policy where they're trying to monetize these bans. Let's be real. When they ban people, they know they're going to sell more copies of CS:GO,
Yeah.
which is why they don't ban your entire account. They want you to keep buying more games.
Sure.
But I mean-
I don't blame them.
But you don't see this. I feel like that's a problem for the rest of the Steam community that's following the rules. They're not punishing the hackers. I'm not asking to like ban them in a way that's impossible, like in some crazy way. They have the power to ban their Steam account from all online games.
Yeah, they do.
Don't delete their games. The online, they can't play online on any official VAX servers for any Valve game.
Yeah, but the point, this is a good point made in the chat as well. I mean, how many of these kids who are really hacking any other game anyway? You pick one game and you're hacking in CS.
I feel like
what other game would I hack in if I'm hacking in Counter-Strike?
but the people that typically cheat on CS typically cheat in other multiplayer games too. I feel like I feel this big overlap.
Think so?
All right.
I'm going to disagree with that one. I think if I'm going to cheat in a game and I'm going to go out, like if I'm having fun hacking in CS, I'm not playing anything else.
But do you not see like the point where you should be banned from? They should be severe.
Yeah, that's fair. I always thought it was a universal VAC ban anyway. I didn't realize it was game exclusive. That always made sense to me because it's VAC is an overall protection, right? So I always thought it would ban you from everything that uses VAC. But I'm surprised that it doesn't, if that's the case.
So many people hacking. It's such a big problem in Counter-Strike. Because like I joke around sometimes saying, okay, if somebody kills you, they're obviously hacking, right? But like it's come to a point in CS where like what was the percent of people that hacked? It's probably like 10% or something crazy. Every other game you get a hacker. Well, it used to be bad. She was complaining to me about it before. But it's gotten to a really bad point where it really does ruin like a lot of the game for people. And you need to be able to enjoy Counter-Strike without hackers.
I don't really play that much Counter-Strike anymore because of it. Because I don't like having to think. I don't like having to worry about like if I'm getting outplayed or cheated.
Yeah, I want to know I got outplayed. Okay, I don't want that possibility of somebody beating me from cheating to be like in my thought process.
And the thing is people will be like, oh well, they're just really good, and you just think they're hacking, but like no, like people are actually hacking. Like I've went back and like, when people are like, man, that guy is like really fucking shady. I like went back and like downloaded the replay and like I watched from his point of view, and he's like straight up like flicking people, and like it locks onto their head and it's like moving along with their head, and then they just click the button and it shoots.
And of course, it's not an excuse for like not being able to climb. Okay, if you're good at Counter-Strike, you're going to climb regardless if there's hackers or not, because the hackers sometimes you'll have a hacker on your team, sometimes it'll be on another team. So overall, it still balances out, so you can still climb. There's no problem with climbing the skill ladder if you're still good. It just it makes that process very distorted and awkward and annoying.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say you can't climb because of hackers.
Hackers are part of the ecosystem, all right? It's like complaining about the whale that's eating your krill, all right? You gotta just deal with it.
I mean, you'll never eradicate it.
No, but it adds flavor, actually. I kind of like it. All right, who's the hacker? Everyone kick the hacker. What's the hacker doing in here? It's part of the environment.
But nobody's going to kick the hacker if he's on their team, all right? And when you're playing ranked, there's a hacker on your team. You're not going to kick him. You're like, ooh, thank God, free elo,
Well, not only that, it's like, it's impossible, like, it's hard to know in the game if the person's hacking 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times you'll get that hunch. You'll be like, that guy is like, 99% hacking, but there's like a 1% chance he's not hacking.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get called I mean, I'm sure remember you got called a hacker too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it leads to like that kind of culture, right? Like,
yeah, because everybody knows how prevalent it is. So there's a lot of accusations going on.
Accusations, I like that one.
That's not like saying this.
Speaking of you guys talking about this Counter-Strike hack, remember me? I watched a video before the podcast actually about the guy who Glider. It was a WoW botting platform.
Yeah, I've heard about it actually. It's a very well-known WoW bot.
Well, at Defcon a couple years ago, he gave a talk about basically how to hack MMORPGs, and he gave us some tips that still work apparently. So if you're in a dungeon in WoW and you need to like get past a boss or a mob to get to a chest or whatever, progress. If you pull out your Ethernet cord and put it right back in, when you run, you'll teleport behind the boss.
Really? That still works?
Yeah.
Interesting. Any other fun hacks for us?
Well, it was a couple of years old, so it's probably fixed a lot of them.
There's an old trick I used to use, which was I set it so that there's like a setting that makes it so that if you're alt tabbed, it like lowers your like frames per second or something in the game. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a setting for that in World of Warcraft. So what I used to do to be like a huge asshole is I would play like a priest or a mage or something, and then I would blow all my shit on the dude, and then I would walk away, like auto run in a certain direction, and then alt tab, and it like glitches your character. So on their screen you're like teleporting like back and forth like multiple times, like over and over again, and like they can't target you. And like I would just do that till my cooldowns are up, and then I would just tab back in and shoot the guy again. I reported that when I worked at Blizzard, but I don't know if they fixed it.
It is fine. MMO Glider does redirect to Battle.net. So I'm pretty sure MMO. I think they got.
Glad I got shut down. Yes, glad I got
They
shut
bought
down.
MMO Glider, the domain, in 2012, and now it just redirects to WoW site. It's pretty funny.
Any other Hacksnet video worth sharing?
I'll link the video later in the notes, I guess. Basically, he just talks about how much he made like millions of dollars off the bot.
Wow.
Then he got sued and he lost it all.
Damn.
Ouch.
And his friend, who's also a hacker for some other games like Aeon and stuff and all these other games, he said, "Dude, just come to China with me. Don't fight this lawsuit. Just leave America." And the guy's like, "No, I have a good case. Like, you know, like it's like free speech or whatever." And then
He should have went to China.
he showed up to China. He just lost everything.
That would suck. Like, I mean, I feel like if you, all right, for example, like, I'm obviously anti-cheat, right? Like I was saying earlier, they should all get banned, right? But I think if you make a cheat, you're not really doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the legality of stuff like that? Like, if you make a bot or you make a exploit for a game,
No.
are you really breaking any laws by selling that?
Well, Blizzard's lawyers would disagree.
It's like this. If I mean, this isn't really a good analogy, but if I'm a salesman and I sell you a gun and you go and kill someone, am I responsible for you killing that person?
Exactly. The
No.
guy who sells the WoW hack could just say like, okay, this is for private server use only, you know, quote quote, whatever you do with it's
Yeah,
up
like
to
private
you.
server use. I mean, it's like the Pirate Bay, right? The Pirate Bay doesn't distribute illegal software. People use it to distribute illegal
Well,
software.
that's not a good example because
That's
Pirate
not-
Bay
yeah.
does get sued and shut down all the time.
They do get shut down, I know, but
I feel like they more facilitated. I feel like this is a-okay in my book. I'm curious how other people think about this too. Maybe this is a poll of the day, maybe, but I really don't think that they're doing anything wrong at
No,
all.
I don't think so.
I mean, they should all get banned for using. If Blizzard wants to go after anybody, they just ban everyone's account that does it. That's it, you know. Because what rule are you breaking? You're breaking their terms of service, right? Their TOS, their end user license agreement, and these aren't enforceable legal contracts. They could just ban you from the game. That's it.
you know.
I'm looking for a really there's a good hacking video. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, the hack it does tamper with the client, but you're allowed to tamper with the client. You know, you download, you can do whatever you want with it. You know, if I download an image online, I'm allowed to go to Photoshop and start pooping on it. You know, I'm allowed to spray can it.
Yeah, their terms of service don't say you get arrested. They say you get banned.
Yeah, they can't say you get arrested anyway because they can do only what they're allowed to do on their end, which is ban you. That's the limit to Blizzard's power.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
inclined to agree.
Well, here's the video.
So if you tamper with the client, you get banned. That's how it should work.
Yeah.
This video is called Defcon 19 Hacking MMORPGs for Fun and Mostly Profit.
I like that. Mostly profit.
They actually tell you the programs to download, like the tools you need to make your own hack. And they
Yeah.
give you like, the easiest ones to make, teleport hacks and stuff.
Yo, I can't make my own hack. I gotta download the hacks. I feel like a badass when I use them. All right, the multi hacks. Making hacks. That's above my pay grade.
But I have no moral qualms personally with like dupes and stuff in the game. If I can get away with it,
No.
You are what's wrong with the MMO community then.
wow.
I
I
mean,
used to dupe all the time in D1. That was so easy.
yeah, but I feel like the
That
other one
barely
doesn't really have a
counts.
community. Yeah,
But that was like
the
like
Wild
a little
West.
secret you could just do.
It was such a well-known hack. Like literally everyone participated.
I did have a hack in Diablo 1 where I could edit other players' names, their gear. I could do anything I wanted to them. It was pretty cool. I think I infected my computer with spyware downloading that one, but it was neat.
When you download hacks, you do venture on a lot of shitty sites and you get spyware. Like you gotta wade through that shit. It's part of the experience.
Cows4u.net. That was
So,
a bad one.
We had a friend in high school. He made a Battlefield 2 hack, right? But when you downloaded it
Oh,
and
yeah.
ran it, all it did was steal your CD key and email it to him. So whenever we wanted to play it, we would ask him for CD keys.
That's how literally we got all our CD keys. I felt kind of dirty using stolen CD keys, but then I realized all the people that got their CD keys stolen from him were all trying to download hacks anyway. Then I'm like, fuck these guys. So I didn't feel bad about it at all.
You can't con an honest man. So,
Exactly, that's true.
We played a lot of Battlefield 2.
Battlefield 2 was fun, all right?
That was a good game.
All right, let's switch back to MMOs here, guys.
All right, so take us on. Where are we going?
How about this one?
What do you got for me?
All right, so Hearthstone had a pretty big patch this week, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. What they'll be doing with the game, and if any of you guys play Magic the Gathering, you'll kind of know what they're doing with it. But they're kind of introducing like a tier 2 kind of system, a type 2 system, where the game will be broken down into wild mode and standard mode. Standard mode is going to be you can only play with the cards that were released in the last 2 years.
Okay.
And then wild mode is everything goes.
Just like Magic the Gathering. Yep.
So I feel like that's actually a really smart design decision because it keeps the game fresh.
Yep.
Like every year, literally, half the cards will be gone. You can't use those cards anymore for tournaments. And you have to adapt to the new cards. I mean, obviously, it makes a lot of money monetization-wise, too. I feel like that's a really good idea, though, for forcing players to actually use new cards.
It's really good in Magic too. I mean, the problem is, as the game progresses, there's going to be more and more cards and more balance issues.
Mhm.
It kind of keeps that under control, like where you can't have older cards because then the amount of broken combinations increases as the more cards that you have in the pool.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this kind of fixes that, too.
It helps their balanced team to be able to keep things like within tweakable margins. League of Legends actually considered doing that as well.
Really? So you
well-
only play like, a certain number of champions every, like, season?
Yeah, they were gonna do like a season where like you can only use like this pool of champions for ranked, but I guess they decided against it.
I couldn't play League then because I only play Sims. Every season, Sims is not allowed.
I mean,
it's
that's
GG.
probably why they didn't do it, right? But
But I can see the merits of it, you know? It would
it's a
make
good
sense for
idea
MOBAs,
for-
too.
It
It's
makes
a
sense for
good
mode
idea.
if they had a lot more heroes.
But League has like over
Yeah, League
100
has-
heroes.
That's not
Yeah.
enough.
Dota's got over 100 too.
No, but card games have like thousands of cards. It's not the same.
That's true.
Right?
But you
I
can
got it, guys.
every season have 30 different heroes.
Guys, I got it. MOBA card game crossover.
Paladins, boom.
Paladin.
No shooting.
No shooting allowed.
No shooting allowed. All right, no. You literally you buy booster packs of heroes. There's no balance. There's no sense of balance. The rare hero is so
Or just
much
better.
better. It's just better. Yeah. And then when you start every death, like every time you res, you start you're pulling a card from your deck. You just hope you get the rare.
Sounds balanced.
It is
Right.
balanced.
We talk about pay to win a lot, right? But look at some of like the trading card games, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh. That game was just pay to win.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was straight up pay to win. Anyone that says otherwise has never played Yu-Gi-Oh because some cards, like 80% of the cards were unusable trash, right? And like some cards like Pot of Greed, if you did have Pot of Greed in your deck, you're just doing it wrong because every time you draw, you get 2 free cards. There was no sense of balance in Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was pure pay to win.
I don't think they cared about sense of balance. They were just selling cards with the
They're
TV
making
show.
money.
Yo, there
Yeah.
was a pro scene, all right, a pro scene. Aaron and I actually played Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering and Pokemon when we were young.
Who didn't?
I played Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic. I played Pokemon, but I played it on the Game Boy. I didn't actually use my cards.
Oh no.
I only played that Pokemon tournament game for Game Boy Color. That was the shit. It was all
Like-
about
No,
that.
you know what was the best card game was Monster Rancher Battle Card. Did you guys ever play it?
Nope.
Nope.
Really? The
Sure,
game was
we're
awesome.
mainstream. We're mainstream card gamers, all right?
Monster Rancher Battle Card was so fun. It was like you guys know what Monster Rancher
Yes.
is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a card game of Monster Rancher and like 3 monsters and you like made them kill each other.
Yes. I watched a TV show for Monster Rancher.
That was like one of the best card games I've ever played. I really like TCGs.
They're expensive hobbies. I remember we
they're
blew a
expensive.
lot of money on them when we were younger, like a lot. We spent every penny of our allowance on card games.
I bought like I want to say like 5 booster boxes of Zendikar when I was still working at Riot.
Booster boxes. God, I spent so much money on booster boxes. Magic the Gathering. Listen. Aaron and I legit. We bought the SpongeBob trading card game booster box. We bought a booster box.
Wait, why?
It was a good game. It was solid. Remember that, Aaron?
Yes, I remember
It
that.
was a SpongeBob trading card game. I'm not sure if they got beyond the first set, but we bought the first set booster box after buying starter packs and like really enjoying it. It was a solid experience.
Yeah, see, I like card games, but I don't have the patience to build decks.
I also half the time I just built a deck and then never used it. So I kind of like a deck building more than the playing.
Deck building was the funnest part, I think. Thinking of crazy ideas for combos and shit.
It was like cool because Riot had like free drafts back when Riot was like a small company.
Mm-hmm.
So they just pay for us to have a booster box and draft, and we just play and you get to keep the cards.
That sounds
on
pretty fun,
there.
actually.
Yeah. It's pretty
That'll
fun.
be an MMOs.com benefit, working perk one day, all right? When we're
When-
big enough in office.
when you have an office.
Never.
Yeah, when shit gets legit.
So never.
Actually, I mean, it just the pay to win part of card games was kind of stupid. Like, one thing I was thinking earlier, like if you have like a lot of little kids would play Yu-Gi-Oh and they would have the stupidest cards. If you run like If you had like, I got the blue eyes white dragon. No, you're just an asshole. It's just a terrible card. You have to like sacrifice 2 cards to summon it, and the guy just, you summon that, triple, you're done. GG, well played. All right. Or wait, change of heart. I take. I sacrifice. GG. Nice try, noob. There's too many ways to kill like really strong cards that if you ever had like a 2 sacrifice card, unless it was god tier, it was terrible.
I want to ask the stream something. Has anybody in the stream played the Star Wars TCG, like the old Star Wars TCG, where you had to like put the freaking like planets down and then put like the areas and had like attrition and like the freaking manual was like a huge book?
That just sounds hella complicated.
It's freaking hella complicated.
No, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Really?
Sure, you sure this wasn't like in like a hazy, washed up sake drunk dream?
Star Wars TCG, the original. Where is it?
Whoa! We got packs off NDA. Matt? Didn't you play that game?
What?
Gigantic.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to talk about it now. By the way.
Okay, so I haven't played it that much. I should have played it more, but I have to play it on Xbox One, and I forget the Xbox One exists half the time.
Well, why do you have to play it on Xbox One? You can't play it on PC?
I have to upgrade to Windows 10 to play it on PC.
Oh,
Matt is just a
my
holdout,
God.
all right? Remember, he's a holdout.
I'm convinced that as soon as Service Pack 1 comes out, they're going to do something really shady. So, anyways, it's pretty cool. I really like the art style. Like, watching the games in motion is like... You kind of don't get the same feeling from any other game.
Mm-hmm.
And fighting a living guardian at the very end is kind of something a little different. It's not too different from, like, Heroes of the Storm fighting the base at the end, but, like, it feels a lot more epic, I guess.
It's like a unit instead of a building.
Yeah, you're fighting this giant boss monster.
That's
instead of a
not
building.
original though. A lot of games have a lot of older shitty MOBAs that nobody's heard of have done that.
It's still kind of cool, though. But anyways.
All right.
And,
I like the game, by the way. It's freaking...
And then the combat feels really smooth. Like, it feels a lot smoother than I expected it to.
It looks gorgeous. I love the game's graphics.
And, there's something a little different about it. I think... I can't remember. I haven't played since, like, October.
When is the beta for this coming out?
No idea.
They've had like it's been delayed a few times I think, and they had some layoffs. they had some some
Yeah.
speed bumps.
They've got they've had a lot of speed bumps, but it's slowly but surely coming out anyways.
I mean, the fact that the NDA was just dropped, I mean, that does show some progress. It means they're willing to have people talk about it. So maybe we have an open beta in the next couple months, I would imagine.
The style in this game looks a lot like Paladins to me.
But like I feel like it's a little crisper and like more cartoony. But yeah, it's very much like Paladins though.
I really like the art of this game.
Again, this reminds me of Wind Waker, and that's a good thing.
Wow.
Plus, you get to be an owl man with a sword.
Boom.
My favorite part of that game is it's Windows 10 only. I like that. I think if you have an internet connection, you should force it to auto update. It shouldn't give you an option.
It is doing that now.
Good.
Damn.
Perfect.
Well, in Microsoft's defense, I feel like they're kind of tired of dealing with people that get like spyware and shit, and they assume like if you auto update, it'll be less likely to happen.
Yeah, that's fair, and I think that does have some credence.
Why does it give you the chance to not update? I still don't get that. Like on Windows?
And once you delay, if I'm playing something, I don't want to get in my way. It happens pretty often though. Like you keep delaying it, and then it shuts you down in the middle of something.
But that's because you delay it. It should come up like on your screen. Your screen should turn black with the updating in 10.9. Just go. There's no option to cancel.
It's go time.
Yeah.
No way to cancel it.
Nope.
Damn, that's hard.
Everyone should be on Windows 10. If you're not,
if
you're
I want to
retarded.
use Internet Explorer 6 on Windows Me for the rest of my life, who the fuck are you to tell me otherwise, huh? Punk. I bought my copy of Windows Me.
And you guys run Linux like pros, huh?
Everyone used Linux once and he felt like a pro, but then he realized, wait a minute, I'm too
All right,
retarded
so
for
I
this.
don't know if anyone knows Linux out there. I use something called Arch Linux, and it doesn't come installed with anything. So there's no time. There's no anything. So just getting the clock working took me
Don't
like
you
an
know,
hour.
real computer pros don't want to have the clock installed because it takes up too much
And,
bandwidth?
and I was thinking why does the clock not come installed? There's different versions of the clock you can install. So they don't want to pick for you.
Too much customization is not always a good thing, alright?
Well, we got another game here I want to talk about, guys. You guys heard of this one? Lineage Eternal, aka Lineage 3?
Why did they just call it Lineage 3?
They should, honestly.
Good question. What's going on with Lineage 3?
It'll be in testing in Korea in the second half of the year. Who's typing away like a maniac over there?
That doesn't matter.
That's me.
All right.
It's actually not me for once.
Right?
So this is NCSoft's bread and butter, Lineage 1 at least, right?
Lineage 1 is their bread and butter.
yeah,
Their
yeah,
bread and butter and cake and water, everything, alright? It's the life source.
So this
of
Lineage 3, I think it was announced so long ago, right?
Yeah.
And somehow it's still not really out, right? But it is making some progress at least. It was on a G-Star, which was a big deal.
Mhm.
People got complaining about that. It looks like basically an action RPG, right?
It was revealed in 2011, so it's been coming soon for a while.
Yeah.
Is this even open world? Like, have they confirmed that it's an open world game, or is it dungeon focused?
If I had to guess, dungeon focused.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good guess.
Well,
Because-
that'll kill it for me.
Because what they want to do with this is
That's a deal breaker for you, Matt?
Well, it's when things have like tiny worlds with condensed zones that are just a few grinding spots.
You're
then you
talking
move to
Skyforge
another
then, right
one,
there.
and then they have
That's
a bunch.
Skyforge,
That's
Yeah.
Skyforge, that's Vindictus, that's Dragon Nest, that's all those dungeon-based games.
But that style works. Like just
No,
look
but
at-
that doesn't have any open world zones. I'm talking there are even some open world games that are dungeon focused that have small zones with grinding spots, and then you go into like 10 different dungeons, and then you move to another zone and go to another 10 different dungeons. And
Another perfect example of that
Like
is...
Blade and Soul.
Then Blade and Soul is a good example. But Blade and Soul is one of those two. But what's that really shitty new area game?
Dragonmon Hunter?
No, it's fuck.
there isn't a newer one than Dragonmon Hunter.
All of the it's before Dragon Hunter, the other one.
Echo of Soul?
Echo of Soul, there you go. The zones were tiny, and they just had grind spots, and it felt very, very constrained.
Echo of Soul has one of my worst design features of or my least favorite design features of all time. It designs the zones around the quests. Like, they have little pockets off to the side of the main road in every zone that has your quest objectives right there. And then you leave that pocket, go back to the quest giver, go back out, go to another pocket, leave that pocket, go back to the quest giver, and then you go to another zone. And it drives
that
me
sounds so
fucking
convenient.
insane.
So what you're saying is that they just like made the bare minimum of like what you need to make for a map.
Basically.
Now, you brought a good point about this open world thing. There's a very popular post on the MMORPG subreddit about been playing Lineage 2 Classic and realized I forgot my favorite thing about MMORPGs was having one massive world to explore and not surrounded by cliffs and mountains on both sides. Cliffs and mountains both sides. That's literally almost every MMORPG now. including
Everything's
Blade
a
and Soul.
valley.
And look at
That's-
these screenshots for Lineage 2.
Wait, Blade and Soul. Wait, has that? I don't think so.
Oh, Lineage 2.
Blade and Soul has mountains and cliffs on every
Blade
side.
and Soul has artificial walls
I
and
don't know,
constructions
I-
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, this
Everywhere.
post right here about not having artificial walls is exactly why I'm really liking luck catchers.
I mean, I
Luck
feel like
catchers.
Luck Blade and
catchers.
Soul is
I love that name.
I feel like it's a lot more open than
No.
we're giving
No.
credit. The
No,
reason
Blade and
why
Soul
is
is totally
because
Blade and
the
Soul is not
movement-
open.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's pretty open to me. At least the areas I've been to, because like when you get to max level, you have like wall walking and stuff.
Mhm.
So like, I'm like jumping from tree to tree, like soaring over like forts and stuff, and like diving down on people to kill them, like from way.
But
way
there's
high
so
above.
many invisible walls and stuff. Like you'll see a hill that you think you can get over, right? But you can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like where
yeah.
you're climbing a little rocky wall and all of a sudden you hit, an invisible barrier. That always, I don't like that.
So what you guys are more upset about rather than the open world feel is the feeling that there's invisible walls. So like
Open
you want
world
more
as
like
well.
a World of Warcraft.
But it's not an open
experience.
Is that one
Okay,
seamless
so-
open world where Lineage 2 is?
Then I have a question. Sean, you played Moonlight Blade. Does Moonlight Blade have the same problem even with all the crazy whoopsie?
I didn't experience enough of Moonlight Blade to give an honest appreciation because
Well,
I wasn't viewing it.
It's on
so
a Chinese
I
server,
can't,
too.
it's on a Chinese server. I didn't get far enough. I don't know what it's like outside that tutorial zone. I imagine that it's also going to be more linear focused like Blade and Soul. And it does make sense though, in games like that, I guess, because designing an entire open world also takes a lot more, I'm only guessing, it takes a lot more time and effort,
Oh yeah.
right?
It just
So-
looks
so-
interesting.
And so if you can just design a world that kind of gives you the illusion of open world.
Yeah,
and
Bladed Soul was an illusion
and
of
it
open
works.
world.
Bladed Soul is like that, right?
It was a decent illusion too, because again, compared to Echo of Soul, which was a bad illusion, where the zones were tiny and it felt very point A to point B.
Yeah.
But even in Blade and Soul, you had that experience of like going from one zone to the next. It was very linear, right? Your progression was very.
Yes.
You had no option, right? You followed the train and you went to every zone as you're supposed to. Sure, was there ever any point where it branched off, like I could go to this zone or this zone? Or was it no? You had to go to this zone basically to keep leveling.
I don't know. I've only made one character.
Because I know WoW at least had like multiple areas you could level at certain points.
You had choice.
There's a freaking fuck ton in WoW.
Do you want to go to Stranglethorn Vale? Do
Yeah.
you want to go to Tenaris? Do you
Also,
want to go
Lineage
to...
too. Clear had that feeling of like, okay, I could go any direction I want, you know, and it wasn't like this zone to this zone to this zone.
Yeah.
I think the cost of making these games is just so high now.
Yeah.
If you make a heat map of an open world, all right, I would argue like 80% of it is just basically frozen.
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Right. So as a developer investor in a game, why make that kind of commitment to that world? Even in single player games, like Final Fantasy VII, open
that
world.
reminds me. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Even the newer Final Fantasies though have no open world, like Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, I know.
While 7 had it, right?
But you had the overview map versus. I feel that
That's not open world. That's
Yeah, that's-
classic. That's JRPG.
it's classic
standard.
JRPG.
Well, same
stuff.
thing because every screen
ahead.
you see, right? Every original screen you see in a game today probably
You guys-
costs 10 times more than it did back then. to
Yeah.
develop.
All right, so you guys want to see something cool? You know, Perpetuum, the kind of Eve-like that's
Yes.
on land.
That has
You
10
want to
people
see the
play.
heat maps?
Let's see some heat
Let's
maps.
see some heat maps, baby. I love heat maps.
It copied
baby, it's so
the-
hot.
Hold on.
I almost got that game, but then I saw many people playing.
Well, I think they're constantly in trouble right now. But anyways, so they had to refocus their zones because you'll see in the heat maps on the 3 continents that like there are maybe 4 points that people visit regularly. So they had to refocus every one of them and create more reason for people to go there.
See, I like that when there's zones that people don't visit. It kind of imbues a sense of exploration. You're the first one to go somewhere.
That makes sense in Eve, where cost of that extra plant zone is 0, right? Like it's just
Right.
randomly generated nothing. But in a game where you have to create content, art, whatever, you can't justify that expense.
No, I agree.
Well, it doesn't make business sense, but
Yes.
for
Makes
the
business
player,
sense.
for the player, it creates the illusion that there is a world out there with places that people don't explore.
So how
Yeah,
can we
but-
get the best of both worlds? How about procedurally generated zones, like a la Minecraft or something?
I
Or
touched
for-
on that in the article, and you know
Oh.
what? Pretty much nobody has it right now. So.
Yeah, no one has. I know that.
I think it'll show up eventually. It seems inevitable with games. So many more games using procedurally generated content.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of time.
Even if
But-
it's just like the dungeons, because I'm so tired of dungeon-based games making me run the same dungeon 10 or 12 times.
Wow. Look at Path of Exile's Ascension expansion coming out, where it's the same dungeon, but every single day it's different. So
Yeah.
it's procedurally generated. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, especially considering it's a dungeon-focused game.
This is what we need. This is the game we deserve. All right. This is the game we need.
What the heck is it?
It's 100% based on science. $100% based on science.
Oh, this must be Time of Dragons.
There you go. I love the T-Rex you're riding on the flying dinosaur.
What is riding the unicorn in the back there? Oh, that's Triceratops, isn't it? Why is the pterodactyl riding something else? Come on.
All right. Somebody liked a good video in the chat. I feel like that should be played in the podcast.
Big
What do
duel.
we got? What do we got? Big duel.
It's called Big Duel.
What
I am
is
amused.
this?
This looks like old school YouTube.
This is solid material right here. This is MMO relevant, right?
My
Yeah, there
God.
was a Yu-Gi-Oh
What
MMO
the
once.
fudge. There was a free-to-play card game, right?
Yes, there was a free-to-play Yu-Gi-Oh! Online card game. There's also that one browser game you can play against each other directly, but there's an official one too.
Well, it shut down the official one.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, very few people played it. And, you know,
Also, I wanted to cover this because this is pretty cool. So, Project Genom, they redid a ton of crap, and they're redoing more crap. But anyways, the important thing is they're going to do branching storylines for certain quests.
ooh.
Branching
That is pretty
storyline
neat.
and
That doesn't happen.
time-limited quests. Some that require survival skills, whatever that means.
How to make a
And-
fire.
And transport quests, which if those are not just like trade runs, are going to annoy the crap out of me.
I feel like you can't do any kind of those trade quests like and make them fun. Going from point A to point B is never going to be fun.
No, I'm just saying, if it's like, you have to drive this vehicle this far without damaging it, or you have to escort this person, I will flip a lid.
All right. More importantly, update me on Project Genome. Is this game like legit? Is it going to come out?
Yeah, it's probably going to come out. They've made a lot of progress. Like, a
They have,
lot.
they have a nice looking website, so I'll give it. They have a
They
very
do.
sleek website. This looks way better. This website looks way better than the Star Citizen website, and they didn't have 85 million, 100 million dollars to blow around either. I could tell the quality of a like development process based on their website to a degree. Like some websites are garbage, you know, such as
RobertSpaceIndustries.com.
that was
It's all
like,
over the place.
it looks like a mix of like 1999 and like modern.
It
And then-
looks like somebody's personal MySpace page after they let everyone customize them.
The layout is terrible. You have to scroll like halfway down the page just to find the news.
How do you guys feel about that actually being a thing? Like, is this game coming out or not? Like,
Too many times I have to ask myself that question when I see games.
It's a good question. Good
Well,
question.
well, it's been that way forever. The problem is that it's more prominent now.
Yeah, because we have so many.
Is
indie
StarCraft
games.
Ghost coming
I
out?
mean, before, like,
God damn it, do not bring that up. I am fucking salty about that still.
We have a friend that pre-ordered it and he never got his
Hey,
money back.
it's still in his wallet.
He still has a
the
pre-order
pre-order
card.
ticket in his wallet from GameStop.
God,
Over
I'm
15 years.
I'm still pissed about that game. Ugh.
Wasn't it going to be a
Was-
console game?
It was going to be a GameCube game that followed a ghost and you shot
No, I don't,
Protoss
you
and other
mean Nova?
I'm glad it didn't come out.
Yeah.
StarCraft has no business on a console.
Hey man, Nova came out.
Dude,
came
dude,
out.
no.
Killing hots.
things. No,
There you go. You can play StarCraft Ghost on HOTS, all right?
You can.
StarCraft 64, just saying.
That was a good game.
I own that game. You know, it was set on the slowest game speed the whole time. You couldn't change it.
And it was the best local multiplayer ever.
It was laggy as fuck, though. Keep in mind, like the games when you played by yourself was okay, but when you play with two people, the game couldn't handle those units at the screen at the same
What?
time. So it played unbelievably slow.
By the time that came out, like I was playing LAN StarCraft in my basement anyway, like with friends. Like
Yeah.
what's the big deal? What it didn't add anything to the experience.
Because
It was just to market it to a different audience. I mean,
Yeah, the noobs.
there were a bunch of
the
people that
noobs that didn't know how to network their computers
Okay.
together.
PCs were more niche back then.
Yes, they were.
I mean, especially gaming PCs.
You don't need a gaming PC to
No,
play StarCraft.
there were no such.
right?
There were like no GPUs back then. Anything could run StarCraft.
Yeah.
It's glorious days.
Yeah, you didn't really need a GPU for anything back then.
I had a 4 gig hard drive. Probably, I can't even imagine how much RAM or what the computer was.
That's not enough
when I was
for
playing
one
StarCraft.
Blu-ray porno that you download today.
No, I know.
You gotta watch your shit in Blu-ray.
I remember I tried installing Ragnarok online, and I didn't know about hard drives at the time, I guess, and I couldn't. I'm like, why won't this install? And it's because there's no space.
You guys remember back in the day, it was just hard to get shit done? Like, think about it, when you installed Ragnarok Online for the first time,
It's a crane.
you had to download Sacre, you gotta download Ragnarok, you gotta download a translation patch. It was an ordeal. Like, easily half my friends couldn't figure it out. They had to call me to their house to figure it out for them.
It was a pain in the ass.
Not only that, when you got it, you had to like pray like it would connect to the server.
Yeah, and you had to
Yeah.
change the IP manually to what connect to. It was a process. And patching PC games back then were hard too. Like, I was playing Battlefield 2, right? And a couple of my friends were playing.
Not 1942.
1942. I was trying to get my friend to play as well, right? From high school or middle school, whatever. And he just couldn't figure it out. He just could not patch the game. Never worked for him. And like,
Do you
that
guys-
was the end. You know, he couldn't play after that. He gave up.
Do you guys remember manually downloading patches from
Yeah.
Final Planet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Final Planet.
Yes.
All the
That-
time.
It was so
The
slow.
queue time. The
The
queue
queue time.
times.
Oh,
And then half the time it would reach the end of the queue and play an
wouldn't
ad, and then it wouldn't download.
Let's be back in the queue. I know
Oh
exactly
my
what that
god.
And you were tempted to pay for file planning because that was the only way to get the goddamn patch. But I never paid for that shit. And then Thank God it just works now, you know?
Man, Final Planet used to be like the only reliable place because Gamers Hell would give you a virus or something.
It was worth it. It was GameSpot Arcade as well, from like forever ago. It was like a Garena for like American servers. It was weird.
So,
File plan.
all right, I got another piece of news, guys. So after
Yeah,
Blade
roll.
and Soul did so well, after this 2012 game did so well, Bless Online by NeoWiz decides, hey,
Put this trailer on. This trailer.
we're also from
solid.
2012. Let's see if we
Slick
can make
trailer.
some money.
Get some of that moolah, boys.
Well, this game has been speculated for an English release for a while now.
Bless
God bless.
Online isn't really from 2012. It just launched.
No,
No
but it was
fix.
announced in 2012.
Yeah, but Blade and Soul came out in 2012.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
on
That's
that
fair.
one.
That's fair.
The game looks kind of. I mean, the trailer makes every game look cool. Let's be real. Like
Of course.
trailers are always hype, but it looks pretty cool. I give them that.
This is built on Unreal 3, which I believe is also
are
Blade and
outdated.
Soul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So same engine.
And it looks good. I saw some people complaining that it's Unreal Engine 3, but I don't think that
Really
makes or
complaining
breaks it.
about that? Like why?
Yeah, they're like,
Like-
why isn't it Unreal Engine 4?
Oh, what? It's from 2012. That's why.
Yeah.
Some people were complaining like,
People complain about everything. I like the dinosaur. That's
Yeah, I was
that's
about to say I like the being chased by a dinosaur.
there are a lot of people talking about it like they know how game development works. Like, Unreal Engine 3 isn't made for MMOs, and I'm just sitting there like, just stop. Just stop
You're
talking.
commenting, bro.
Okay, but keep in mind this source for Bless Online coming to Europe and North America was a site called bless-source.com. Okay, based
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
URL, it's not very trustworthy, and it's iffy. You know, they didn't link a concrete proof. I don't think they did. They just said it's been confirmed by who. Like
Listen,
this.
I've seen it on multiple sites now, so therefore, by the
But- but
rules
we-
by the
but we-
rules of the internet, it's confirmed.
But we just copied. They were
Okay,
our source.
Erhan. A bunch of people wrote about how Peter Molyneux retired and Goddess was canceled. Don't even start about reliable. Like, no.
So I mean, I think. Well, a lot of people do think it was going to come out anyway because they had an English voiceover trailer anyway. So based on that, it was going to come out anyway. Unreal 6, you are the game. I'm waiting for that. All right. And as somebody said, you can play a lolly, so that's already a big bonus.
I like that.
It's a key feature, right? That potential deal breaker for sure. I know that. If you can't play a lolly.
You know, Blade and Soul is actually releasing their first major content update in
2 days, right?
2 days, yeah.
Aren't they adding like a dungeon with a tower in it, like there's 20 floors and shit?
And some other
Yeah.
stuff. They're adding
I
like,
hate
some
when
other
games
stuff.
do that. It's like, guys, we need a content update. I got it. Guys, get this genius idea. Ready? It's a big tower with multiple levels on it. Boom. We keep
There's
them
also
busy there
another.
forever.
There's also another dungeon though, like an actual dungeon.
Bless.
That's like, okay, guys, we need another new game for Yiz. Okay, I got it. We're gonna make a game called Yiz Origins. It's gonna be a big tower. He's gonna climb it.
Yeah.
No environments. Same gray palette the entire time.
I know Matt loves stuff like that, right? Don't you, Matt?
Yeah, I'd like something simple like that.
Yeah, because that's why you like Persona 3, right?
Yes.
The 200-floor tower, where literally every floor is the same, but every 50 floors the background changes. It was still the same shit.
All right, guys, I got a
It's
controversy.
simple. Plus, it's got all the nice story and
Oh,
the
It
nice
was good. I admit it was fine.
and the nice like time management elements on top of that. But
Nice
the
nice
actual
with that.
gameplay part is nice and simple, so that all the management doesn't like overwhelm you with the complex gameplay.
I
Persona
heard
4 did better.
controversy. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Maybe controversy was the wrong word, but I got you excited, so it works.
Damn it.
Uh,
Do you know what grinds my gears?
Tell us.
Okay.
Tell us.
The word online at the end of games. This game, Bless, right? I made a preview page for it. The game's name is Bless. That's it. That's the name of the game, all right?
So you made the preview page for it.
Yeah, I think so.
No. Sean made the preview page
Did
for
he?
it. Yeah, he did.
Damn, Sean.
I don't
take
believe
credit.
Sean.
I'm taking it.
I think you can have online in your game title if you had an offline game.
Anyway,
yeah.
so the name of the game,
Right?
I think I did Black Desert then, right? So I made Black Desert, and back then it was actually Black Desert, right? And somehow it became Black Desert Online because everyone started calling it that.
Yeah.
So same thing with this. Everyone is calling this game Bless Online now. The
Working
game is
on.
Blessed, guys.
Why did that become popular? It wasn't that popular because when online first became big, it was, I guess, cool to say online to distinguish it from, say, a single-player game. But now we
I
know
just-
these games are online.
It makes sense. You know why? Let's imagine you're looking for Bless. You want to play? Let's say it's already out in America, right? and the game's called Bless. You're gonna go to Google. You're gonna search Bless. You're gonna find some Wikipedia pages, some Christianity, some holy shit. All right. It's like no, you don't want that shit. You want to play Bless online.
That's just a bad name then.
It's just a bad name then.
No, but
search
they apply
Blast
data.
Game or Blast Review. Like Blast.
No, I feel like a lot of games. Like if you just search Cabal online, right? You just search Cabal. What are you gonna find? You're gonna find some like.
But is the game called
cult
Cabal or
shit.
Cabal Online?
Called Cabal Online.
So that's official title though, right?
Yeah, but I think
Look,
it makes
look.
sense for them to call it that.
If the
That's also
company,
2005.
no, that's my point. If the company calls it that, it's fine. Like Ultima Online, someone said in the comments.
But Bless is gonna be called Bless Online by the
no,
developers.
it's not. It's called Bless. Look, I'm
It's called Bless.
Look at
They're gonna call themselves Bless Online soon enough.
well because they can't fight it anymore because everyone keeps calling it online.
Yeah, exactly. This guy just said, same thing happened to me when I searched Genome Project. I found some real Genome Project
MMOs.com
on the human body. Alright? So even with Project Genome, you search Genome Project, you're finding like human DNA shit. So
No.
I feel like it makes a lot of sense.
Look, okay, then you can argue that the game company should call it online, right? But I think the news sites should call it what the company calls it.
Yeah, but if you just search, if you just leave, because by the way, because you left ours as Bless, nobody will find this on Google. Okay, if you search Bless online,
Well, don't say me. It's it's Sean's fault now.
I'll take
Sean,
it.
Sean, go fix it, Sean.
By the way, everybody else calls it Bless Online on our
Yeah,
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. MMORPG calls it Bless, and so does MMO Huts, and so does Metacritic. So I based it on other sites.
Steparo calls it Bless Online, and Steparo is my only source.
Oh
for
yeah.
foreign games,
Okay.
alright?
One source.
By the way,
We're
Steparo
journalists.
is the authority on foreign games. They're an awesome website, so
All
shout
right,
out to Steparo.
Viewer poll. Bless or Bless Online? You have 10 seconds. Go.
It's Bless Online in my heart.
So
Smart.
I think it's funny if you type simple names like Unravel or Dishonored, the first thing that comes up is the game.
Well, they really rock the search engines.
Yeah. Right.
We got one guy said Blessed, all right?
Bless. I like bless the best. God bless you.
Okay, if you type For Honor, the first thing that comes up is the game.
God bless you.
Bless my heart.
Blessings. Bless for the name Bless.
God bless me.
It's one of those ticks. It's not a big deal, right? But like, it just annoys me. Like when the name doesn't match the company name. Like the company.
I hear you.
Hey, if you search Ragnarok Online's number 2.
Well, yeah, it's based on the. It's relevant, all right? Based on the
Ragnarok is
philosophy.
the apocalypse in Norse mythology.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of bad names,
Ragnarok.
I feel like this is a good time to transition to that.
What is
Oh, yeah.
this? Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember this.
So, the first thing that stood out to me is integration of Amazon's Twitch video streaming tools at a low
Well-
level.
Wow. So
Just to say what we're talking about here, Amazon just launched a game engine. They're calling
Free.
it Lumberyard.
A free game engine.
A free game engine called Lumberyard.
The name is strange, but you build things at a lumberyard, so it makes some sense.
Aren't all game engines free for like personal use? And
No,
when you-
no, CryEngine's not.
for personal.
And then also
Not
wait,
free.
it's going to be monetized through the use of Amazon Web Services cloud computing. If you use the engine for your game, you're permitted to roll your own server tech, but if you're
Wait.
using a third-party provider, it has to be Amazon.
Well, it's cross promotion.
Guys, you know what's hilarious about this? It's like the Amazon's all lush, and then this thing's gonna turn everything into a lumberyard.
Cut down the Amazon.
Deforestation, here we come, baby.
It's like the Amazon's over, guys.
GG boys, Amazon's getting turned into a lumberyard. Alright. So, apparently most regular game engines do cost money, subscription to stuff, but usually you can demo them out, and like Unity is free personal use. Unreal is also for free to start using, but obviously to make any game on it commercial wise costs money. But I think it is good for the game industry. Why not throw more development tools out there? And Amazon is not a lightweight. They can potentially make something awesome.
And
Again,
maybe it'll be more usable than CryEngine.
But
Shots fired,
interesting
dude.
we guys said CryEngine. This is actually based on CryEngine.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So basically, Amazon gave a lot of money to CryEngine, which is a German company run by 3 Turkish brothers, by the way.
Of course.
And
where's the third brother? Her and I are clearly one of them. Right? Both of them.
we should ask for a free copy.
Slaving away.
But anyway,
Basically, the reason I've heard a lot of indies don't use CryEngine is not because of the subscription model, it's because it's really difficult to use.
Is that why it's called CryEngine?
It makes you cry.
The dogs cry.
Unreal Engine is unreal, boys.
Yeah, so this is going to compete with Unreal, I guess, right? For the two,
Yep.
if they're going to play with the big boys.
Basically, this just made CryEngine free to everyone, which is kind of cool.
You're playing with the big boys now.
So can we? Let's all guys.
And,
Let's make
and
it.
you can now stream straight from the game engine, like as you're developing, since they know all those people stream and they want
I
to
mean, that's
get people.
kind of cool, though.
That is cool.
I'd watch someone develop a game, I guess.
I've tried that before and it's really boring.
Oh, it is boring.
Guys. We're gonna make a game right now on this engine. We're gonna need 5 key features for this game. Everyone, give me a key feature right now. One.
Boobies.
Okay,
Boobies.
we're gonna.
It's a booby game. I'm gonna say match 3. It's a booby match 3 game. Sean,
That's
Cash
really
shop.
important.
We need a cash shop where
Really
you can
important.
buy
We're gonna
wins.
sell.
with a pay-to-win cash shop show.
Guys,
Wait,
we're
wait.
gonna sell weapons, weapons, but then the weapons are not out yet.
Only the cash
Right.
shop. Beautiful. Okay, pay-to-win.
You gotta pre-order.
No. You can't actually use the weapons. You can like look at them, but they're not out yet. Then they're gonna cost like $1,000, and then you can buy like $10,000 ones, right?
Beautiful.
Real
It's not
time,
like
real time match 3 PvP that's based entirely on your gear.
All right,
It
I
doesn't
like
matter
it.
if it's
I
I
like
like
three.
to have
I like
online
it.
in the title.
And online, and there's a survival element.
Oh,
too.
God,
That
no
shit, that
online,
shit's all the
please.
rage. All right, beautiful. This game's a big success.
All right. You heard it here first. What are we going to call our game? MMOs.com online?
Obviously.
okay, then we need to
Come on.
kickstart it, and then it's not actually gonna come out.
No,
that's key.
it's massively multiplayer online role-playing game online.
Yes, and more RPG Online. Beautiful.
We take all the money from the Kickstarter, and then we just
Pay to win online.
And then we say we ran to development. We
yeah.
say
we ran-
our only copy of the game was on our floppy disk and it got lost. All right.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Then
no,
we split it.
this.
We split it into 2 games, and then we charge full price for both.
And then we launched
So you
Kickstarter
can-
for the second game. I like it, guys. Genius.
Boobs online. How about a booby titty simulator? You play a pair of titties in their quest to get larger.
But
Think
are
about
it. It should be
you the
called
titties
this.
on the girl, or do you like titties with like legs on them? How you
It should
walk?
be called
Legs.
that. I like that name.
Boobs. I like boobs online.
I have to
Oh,
find.
the,
Titty simulator.
But what do you like? What are you playing as? Are you attached to the woman's body, or do you have your own legs?
No, you're just a pair of breasts, and you have like these thought experiments, and you play mini games. And if the better you do, the bigger you get in the real world.
So
Okay,
Alright.
so speaking of playing as titties, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Has someone done this? Oh God.
No, but it's
This is
close.
better. This is better.
Testicle. Oh no.
No, but read the description. Read the description.
this is Katamari. Looks like it.
In a freak mishap during radiation treatment, you procured an additional testicle that became abnormally large quickly. Scientists immediately became involved with the problem at hand, and it was determined that a separation must occur. Immediately upon being released from dependency on you, ELT, extra large testicle, went rogue and began to dominate the city. It is your duty to assist him in ensuring genetic victory over the city's inhabitants. Yeah,
Nice.
dude, I'm supporting this shit right now.
Yo, how do I kickstart? How do I just like transfer my entire bank account to them like right away?
Yeah, right?
This game looks awful.
Why is it like smoking and like on fire or something? What is this smoke over its
Radiation,
head?
dude.
Your testicles don't smoke and catch fire
That's-
almost?
and
I don't
no.
know, man. Half of the Katamari game was listening to music, and I'm not feeling the music.
And why are the girls like having hearts over their head after you run them over?
Why
That's
do you-
smoke because
and
you
these
spread
dudes
your
are punching
genes,
it.
claim your offspring, and put down any male or any alpha male competition.
Oh, so
I
you're
see, I
impregnating
see.
the woman.
This is
just-
like shower with your dad simulator level of game.
Is that wow? Is that a game? That should-
Yeah, it's
that's
in
a
my
game.
library. I played that game. You gotta match children with their fathers in the shower.
If you match the wrong children, do they like get raped and like you get minus points?
Yeah, you lose points.
you know what secretly happens though, right?
Yeah, of course you do. That's
All
all
right, all right. It's a quality shitty game. I like it.
All right,
So this just shows you that, you know, if anything can be made, Rule 35, if it's an idea, it's going to be turned into a game. Look, they're punching the testicle.
Warfire, flight with the enemy. Another
Oh, yeah.
one.
These are, I'm going to get these game pages up later today.
What is this?
Warfire, flight with the enemy.
Enemies. Fight with the enemies.
Oh, enemies. That's an S.
This is made on CryEngine? What the heck?
So I have a question. Steam Greenlight, is there no quality control? Is that dead? Has that been dead for a while?
I don't think they ever
No,
had quality
there
control.
wasn't any. It
Yeah,
was
never had wasn't any to begin with.
the
Yeah.
users were quality control.
So what I'm curious is, are there people who are dedicated to Steam Greenlight, and so you have like this minority player base that just decides what gets greenlit and what doesn't? Because I rarely browse Steam Greenlight. Right?
Basically, and most of them vote for things on jokes. Like, the jokes get up faster than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the lesson, guys. You gotta make a joke game and you'll be like, A-okay.
I mean, that's a sad state of affairs for the industry, isn't it?
I think the first few days after Greenlight came out, I kind of browsed and like.
Yeah.
But after
the first
that,
few
I haven't
days.
been there since.
Here, guys, I got one for you. How about this one? You guys got that one.
There's
I mean,
poop
it's
in
not
my
really.
soup. What
I
a
don't
name.
think Steam sponsor Steam Greenlight.
Guys.
I blame the user base.
Guys, Shoe Linked an amazing game.
There's
see what
poop
this
in my
is.
soup.
There's poop in my soup.
But what do you do in this game?
The art- the
Oh,
art
why is everyone
top-notch.
naked and weird looking?
The art is top notch, boys.
What the fuck?
This is gonna sound bad, but this reminds me of jazz punk.
I don't know, Jess.
What?
This is beautiful. This game is amazing.
Oh, that same like Terry Gilliam humor.
This is a top notch game, boys.
The poo list.
So your job is to like flick poop from your nose into their soup. And like AoE people with your poop.
I'm glad the industry is maturing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is pretty catchy music, though.
Be the change that you want to see in the world. Therefore, clearly people want to see games become
Yeah.
more immature.
Game of the year, guys. GG Witcher 3. As somebody just said. Quality
Witcher
control.
3 is game of the year.
No, you mean poop. There's poop in my soup. It's game of the year. This is a quality title, boys.
I'm glad we've deviated to left field. As
All right,
usual.
let me bring it back, guys. All right, so
Reel us back in.
we have to always talk about VR at least once, right, per podcast.
Yeah, that's fair.
been like
Okay,
a
what's
thing.
happening now?
Okay, this is a little weird even for me. I want Matt's opinion and Shoes because they actually like worked in the industry or something.
What the hell?
So you can literally create a game on Unreal Engine in VR. Like you're in the world creating it by hand.
I don't think it's fair to say I worked in the industry.
What you? No, fine, but you made some game.
Some indie game, yeah.
That's enough. This is weird. Is this helpful?
Is it? I was gonna say, is there any benefit to this over mouse
No,
and keyboard?
that looks messy. I'd rather use a mouse and keyboard any day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd have much more precision with the mouse.
He's got a lightsaber, dude.
This seems like a chore. Like
Guys.
Also,
Minecraft.
look at the way
Out
that
there.
the camera's moving around. That's almost like sickening. Like
Maybe
when
when
he
you're wearing
pulls
the
them
headset, it's
apart,
not as sickening.
like when they pull it the two controllers apart and it zooms, the way it zooms is like making me dizzy.
Also, it's like shaking. Like everything's just like shaking. Like in it.
But I
it's
wonder-
like huge on your screen.
When he's wearing it, I wonder if he sees it shaking like that, or
That's
just,
true, though,
it's just
right?
distorted for us.
I
Also-
think Unreal is really enthusiastic about VR, so they're just doing whatever.
Yeah.
This
guys.
is. What's up?
Now, if they start making a coding platform in VR, I'm done. I'm out. No.
Yeah, that'd be silly. But think about a game like this, right? That's like Minecraft, where you just make everything in the engine like this. It won't be an engine per se, but imagine a game like Minecraft playing out like this. I think that has
Yeah,
so much
I can see
potential.
that.
That could be
Yeah,
amazing.
I think it has potential. See, the first gen is these
That
little
has
circle
to-
shits, right? But imagine in the future a glove with 10-point,
The tactile feedback.
just controlling like 10 like this, instead of this circle shit.
Like, we have to get there first, and also, it has to be done right, because this could be really tedious really fast.
Yeah, it's a
already looks
workout.
tedious.
It's a workout. Imagine designing one level. You
Look at
just
this
sweat.
guy. He's really going at it.
This looks tedious, but I mean, even a Minecraft thing sounds really tedious if you don't do it right.
Yeah, that's true. It has to be done right, obviously. But it has potential. Seeing your world that you created from that perspective would be pretty intense.
I think it's cool that they went and did it. It doesn't seem practical.
I don't see any game studio using that,
I think they just did it just to say, look what we did.
basically.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like-
look, Ma, look what I did.
Next time making a MapleStory VR thing, to just look what we did. So it points for doing something cool with VR.
So
I gotta
someone's-
say, like when it first comes out, people are gonna experiment in every possible way, and then as time goes on, you'll figure out what works, and it'll mature.
That's like there are almost as many level editors as there are 2D tile-based games, because everybody makes a level editor that works for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they all build it from the ground up, and it's just I don't see anyone using something that is this weird on a regular basis.
Well, check Steam Greenlight a year after VR comes out, and I'm sure you'll find something.
I wonder how many weird games are going to come out for VR.
A lot of titty
Many?
games.
There are already too many sex games coming out. Like,
Dude,
Whoa,
Matt.
Speaking of sex,
too many.
speaking of sex, guys,
Too many.
there are so many hot Korean like dance videos with 360 filmed and ready to go for VR.
oh, that
I am
reminds
down.
me. I think it's Unity 5, I think it's Unity. But anyways, some game engine is now allowing you to render 360-degree videos.
It's cool.
That's cool. They're all over Korean YouTube for some reason. There's 360 videos.
Why not?
It's just like imagine walking through like a fly-through of like Bless in like full 3D, and you can drag the camera and see whatever you want.
It's cool.
All right, so we got another piece of big MMO news here, guys. It's not a game that gets a lot of love, I think, in our circle, but Star Wars: The Old Republic is doing really well. They have more subs now than in the past, anytime in the past 3 years.
Well, subscriptions hit near 3-year highs, so
My bad, my
they're
bad.
close to 3. They're doing very well. So
That's impressive.
and it makes sense because if you play Star Wars, you kind of have to subscribe because all the content updates and stuff are locked. You have to be a subscription user to get them. So
But-
once you reach max level, you have to kind of subscribe.
But what we're really learning from this is everybody just wants MMOs to be single player.
Well,
Ooh.
Star Wars makes money, but it's not like that big. If Star Wars: The Old Republic was the most profitable MMO, you'd be right.
Well, no, they are pretty much way up there, though. I mean, if they're at near 3-year highs, they're probably doing better than Final Fantasy XIV right now.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, we don't have hard numbers, but
Yeah.
they're probably doing better than Final Fantasy XIV right
I say
now.
Final Fantasy 14.
Didn't Super Dad have a chart for this and it was doing better in the West at least?
But what I was saying is the new stuff for Old Republic is basically all single player with player choice and like the branching story and the Telltale style with even the crappy animations that remind me of Telltale games. But anyways, so they're all single player. So if you're subscribing for that, you are subscribing for a single player game.
Can I also? I agree, and I just want to also bring this point up that was made in the comments. Star Wars, also, this data comes out, and I don't think we have data for it, but this comes out on the heels of the Star Wars movie. And I imagine this game got a little boost from the movie
Really?
releasing. I think so. I'm gonna
I
go
doubt
take
it.
a little bump. You don't think you doubt it?
Maybe I doubt it though, because if anything, I think it reminded people that Star Wars exists. But the Old Republic has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the storyline of
I
The
agree.
Force Awakens. So people are going to look at it. They're going to say, "I don't see any familiar characters here," and they're going to leave. That's what they do with other games all the time.
I'm thinking more like people who originally played went back to it. Is this something?
But
What
the
is
other
this?
thing, the other thing I was going to mention is shit. Hold on.
Here's a cool chart that
Oh,
shows. Yeah.
so one thing that we don't really take into account a lot is, yes, games from the old times that were all focused on multiplayer experiences and like the community were doing well for their time, but they never hit anywhere close to the numbers that we're hitting today.
What do
I
you
mean, that makes sense. You have a larger audience today.
Yeah.
Exactly, and the larger audience wants to go more single player as a largely.
I don't think Star Wars is a good example of that. Again, we don't have hard numbers. To
Somebody
look
in the comment actually said they have a friend who subbed to Old Republic only because of the movie. So there is at least one guy out there like that.
Yeah.
And you gotta keep it, I mean, going with that real quick, it's people, when you're a fan of a franchise, I like Star Trek, I don't just like Next Gen, I watch all of them. You're a fan of the world that's built
true.
in Star Wars. It's the same story again and again and again. So the characters are exchangeable. You can swap them out. So you're more addicted to the universe itself, the good and evil aspect, Jedi, all that, than necessarily just these characters in a movie. But again, we don't have data on that. I'm just speculating. So
We
but
have
this is
some
an
data
interesting
on-
chart here.
Yeah. We have some real data on this. This assumed if you assume all those revenues were directly from Final Fantasy 14, which is not the case, they'd be about 1.25 million, 1.2 million subs.
Damn.
So I mean, obviously, at least 300,000 of those are from Final Fantasy 11.
The fact that FF14 is still a sub game and it's surviving, I think, is impressive because it came out so late. It was so late to the game in the sub market. While Star Wars, at least the base game, isn't free to play.
Final Fantasy has such a dedicated fan base.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not-
hardcore.
Yeah, yeah. absolutely.
And Dragon Quest, I think the reason that Dragon Quest X hasn't come out here, much to my dismay, is the fact that it's simply got more of an audience that's hardcore in other countries. Like, here in the US, we got the Dragon Quest games, but they're not like a staple.
Yeah.
Like, we don't... Most people know... Like, you can mention Final Fantasy to non-gamers, and they'll know Final Fantasy. If you mention Dragon Quest to them, they won't.
Yeah, Dragon Quest.
They'll
is
have
way
no
more
idea
famous.
what it is.
Also,
And
Dragon Quest is bigger in Asia than...
Final Fantasy is so big right now. They got, like, what was it, the Louis Vuitton set of clothing? Yeah. And they're on, like, Louis Vuitton stores and everything, and it's like, that's how big it is.
Yeah. And let's not... Lightning is
Doesn't
quite
make
a
any
stylish
sense.
character, alright? Lightning is
Don't
a
get it.
classy lady.
Isn't Lightning
It's a very classy lady until
Louis
it was
Vuitton model now?
Yeah,
It-
you
until
just
it
said
was-
that, yeah.
Oh, I was also-
she was a very classy lady until it was put in real life, and now it just sucks.
Whoa. I thought it looked kind of cool. I saw the ad in person. There's an ad, like, a place I walked to, so...
Like who are you targeting with that ad though? Like,
She looks like a classy lady.
yeah, but like,
if you want to be as cool as Lightning, you gotta buy a Louis
What?
Vuitton bag.
What?
Come on.
I mean,
Oh
I'm,
my
I'm
God.
sure there are people who played Final Fantasy 13 and would buy Louis Vuitton shit.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't think that Louis Vuitton's gonna go make an ad unless they think they have an audience.
Okay, if anime fans will buy those $200 to $300 statuettes, and
Look at
Firefly
But they're
fans,
not. But there's a problem with what you just said, right? Because they're not just necessarily anime fans to play
no, I'm
Final
just saying
Fantasy.
if they will, and Firefly fans will buy like $1,000 recreations of this Serenity, then I think people will buy Louis Vuitton shit for Final Fantasy.
Honestly, I don't see it doing anything outside Japan. I think they
We're
just
seeing
did
it
it for
here.
Japan. We saw it here, but I don't think anyone here...
If you imagine you don't play Final Fantasy and you see that ad, right? It still looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on.
No, it doesn't. It looks
It looks.
weird.
It looks no like the world of artsy fartsy fashion is like crazy pink hair and shit anyway. All right. It
I don't
fits
know.
the fashion realm, regardless if it's from a game or not. I think. I don't know shit about fashion. All right.
How much is a Louis Vuitton bag these days? Let me Google this one.
I don't know,
Louis
let's say
Vuitton
1,000 to 5,000. I'm gonna say.
bag.
She looks great. All right. Lightning's
Alright,
a
guys.
classy lady.
It's only $2,000. $2,400.
Good. See, you're good.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna go get one.
I'm gonna go get like 6. All right.
I'm actually kind of surprised by how many of these I see on the street, but maybe they're fakes. I don't know.
There are a lot of fakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get to our thing too, because the game show, boys.
All right. So we'll wrap up the.
Whoa, we do have our question of the week.
Oh yeah, hit that.
All right. Let's hit that up. Link us. Our
So-
weekly raid.
Our weekly raid. And I guess to recap last week, which was which games are you guys hyped for? If you're hyped at all. Some people just kind of gave a shrug, which I thought was probably the appropriate response. But Crowfall came up quite a few times.
Oh.
And I don't think we give Crowfall much love here either, just because I don't know enough. But it does look interesting.
I'm not really excited.
But I thought you were for that whole thing where like the world ends in an MMO and then like.
Yeah, right.
We talked about that.
No,
Kind of
it just sounds tedious because like the worlds apparently end and then there's another one and you keep your character and you just go to another world and you destroy it and then you go to another world.
Everyone has their own
destroy it.
world, which is like their housing, I guess, kinda. And then there are different servers going on at any time you can jump into to fight, and they last
So-
for 3 months.
So it's like PvP Sky Saga
Yes. Kind of.
or
Yeah.
PvP Trove.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So anyway, getting back on track here. This week, we're asking, which MMO have you spent the most time in? Personally, I spent more days than I ever should have in WoW. Near the end, when I typed in /played, I kind of felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I had a ton of fun. I've put in also over 500 hours in Natural Selection 2. I probably put over 1,000 hours in StarCraft at least when I was a kid. It's tough to gauge, but I know there are just some games we kind of play and we're just hooked, especially when I was younger. So we're curious what game you guys got hooked on, because I know for some people, not everyone it's for WoW, some people it's EverQuest.
All right,
Come
so
on.
let me start this off.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so EverQuest for me was the first game I played that kept track of your time played, right? So in Ultima Online, I played a lot, but I didn't know how long I played. but in EverQuest you could do slash played. So 1 month I did slash played, and turns out I played that game for 12 hours a day on average for that month.
Damn.
So
On average, impressive.
Was it the summer?
no. It was during school, middle school. So I went to school for 6 hours. I slept for, I guess, I played for 12. So whatever that leaves, I slept.
You got 6 and 6 left, so you
Yeah.
slept for 6, went to school for 6.
Yeah.
Very efficient with your time, all right?
So anyway, my point is, it makes you look like a lightweight, Sean.
Aaron,
8
pick
hours,
up.
8 days. And wow,
No.
total.
When I first hit 60, I said.
Oh.
That's how long it takes to get from 1 to
All right,
60.
yeah. For me, that's that's less than a month of gameplay. 8
Right?
days.
Yeah, no, the vanilla
Yeah.
WoW, it only takes about 8 to 10 days.
Wow,
Which is
somebody
still
said
a ton.
Florenzia. Holy crap.
Also, so I guess I'll go. I spent the most time in Link Realms. I probably played over 2,000 hours
Wow.
over the course of a year and a half. I mean, I used to play 10 hours a day. I'd sit on there all the time. I became basically a game master, but without the power. They didn't want anybody having the power except them, but I was basically a game master. I wrote the wiki, like the entire wiki, basically on my own, and my girlfriend helped with screenshots and stuff. And I probably would have never played it that long if it weren't for the fact that my guildmaster was so awesome, honestly. But yeah, I know more stuff about that game than they want anybody to know.
Could you
Yeah.
could you draw an accurate to scale map of like the
Not
starting
anymore. Not anymore.
At one
They-
point you probably could.
And what? No, I mean they changed it. I
Oh.
could probably draw an accurate to scale map of the old map, but they changed it. I'm not even sure if any of the original developers they're still there. I think Herb, the guy that does the art, might still be there, but I think everybody else, the other ones, quit. And I ended up quitting because so all the game masters and everyone were volunteers, and I mean, we every now and then would ask for just like a little like for them to throw us a bone or something.
Yeah.
And like give us just like because every piece of gear, the stats could be transferred from item to item with the special item, and so none of the items that you got mattered unless you had a good item to transfer stats
of
to.
course.
It was all cosmetic. So every now and then we'd ask for this one item, this one robe that was restricted because the art guy would allow you to pay him like $100 and you could have your guild item made. Like you could design an item and he'd put it in the game.
You pay him $100 though.
Yeah, so no,
Good
I
deal.
didn't pay $100.
You had to. It was part of the game. You had to give the art designer $100 and
Anyways.
give custom stuff.
So there was this one guy that played the game back in like 2008 or something. He made an item, a robe, and it was his guild robe, and they went around ganking people. Anyways, he quit, and he claimed he was going to sue them if they didn't remove the item, basically. And then he just completely disappeared.
Right.
So they wouldn't give anybody that item because they would claim they were going to be sued. And that was like the only thing I didn't have. I even had this long-lost fursuit thing.
Wow.
But,
Good item collector.
Fursuit, whoa.
But yeah, you could be like a raccoon. It was pretty funny. Anyways, we kept asking, and every time after a long day of like spending 5 hours training noobs on a noob rush night when they sent out invites, we'd ask, and eventually this guy, Declan Minecraft Workbench or something, played the game. He got the rope, and we were all pissed because apparently all you had to do was be someone in press and they'd give you whatever you wanted, basically.
Wow.
So we were all pissed. We'd spent like hundreds of hours training noobs for them, and we were all
get it.
pissed. And after a while, and it was like all downhill from there, and eventually I just quit. I was tired of the devs. They pissed me
Yeah.
off.
How big
Well,
was the
yeah.
community back when you played?
There were never more, and the entire time that I played, I think the most amount of players I ever saw online was 35.
Damn.
What?
You played that indie game a shit ton.
Have you watched this Marky Dragon interview with the creators? It's on YouTube. Oh.
No, I haven't.
I think.
I interviewed them enough on my own.
Oh.
Wow.
I got to know them, and they actually. I don't think I should say this, but there used to be a feature where you could type /pfull and it would turn on nudity.
Nice.
Nice.
Full frontal nudity.
Every game needs
Do we
that.
have a page for this game on MMOs?
I think
Yes,
we do.
yes.
Okay.
I think I can't play a game if it's 35 players online. Like that would instantly be like, that's a deal breaker for me. A game has to have some kind of community. Otherwise, I feel
That's
like-
a boner kill.
Yeah.
They removed it though because they thought that they wouldn't be mainstream if they had a nudity thing.
I mean, Russ is mainstream, and I get to see penises all day, so...
Yeah, they had full frontal for both genders, including the cat.
This
people.
game does look okay. It looks better than RuneScape did back then. Like, and the little bag system looks like the Ultima Online bag system.
Yeah.
It's very Ultima inspired.
All right, Shu, what game did you play the most?
Probably either Ragnarok Online or this mud I used to play.
What was it called? I know you told me, but tell the stream.
Okay.
Classic.
Yeah. I used to go I used to play it on lunch and stuff, and between break, those
Dedication.
between periods and stuff. It was
Nice.
bad. It's that 10-15 minute break, and I was just
The way you said
play.
between periods, it made me think between womanly periods. I know Shaw was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
you guys are fucking.
Sorry.
Between the periods. All right, nice. For me, it was definitely Ultima Online. Played for 5 years nonstop, and easily half that time was 10 hours a day.
Well, I'd say more recently, check my Steam profile. I have 3,600 hours in Dota 2.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I have at least that much in League, mobile-wise. But I still think we played way more Ultima than we did.
Yeah,
League or
I
Dota.
know I played StarCraft 1 more than I played Dota 2, but there was really no way to keep track back then.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
There, this
Even-
guy played 4.6k hours of Guild Wars 2.
Nice,
Damn.
nice.
I think the close
Impressive.
second for me is Ace of Spades, but I couldn't keep track of that one.
All right, let's get to this this trivia game, boys.
All right. Well, if you guys are watching this live, stay tuned for the post game for the trivia, and for everyone else, this is it for the podcast, episode 38. So fare thee well.
Later, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.